First contact's deception. The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning at the SETI Institute's Allen Telescope Array. Dr. Sarah Chen was reviewing the night's data when an unmistakable pattern emerged from the cosmic background noise. Her hands trembled as she verified the signal for the third time. This was no natural phenomenon. "Director Matthews," she called out, her voice echoing through the facility's corridors. "You need to see this." The signal was elegant in its simplicity. Prime numbers arranged in a perfect mathematical sequence that could only be artificial. But what followed was even more extraordinary. A message, encoded in basic binary, that translated into a simple greeting. "We come in peace." Within hours, the world's leading scientists and government officials converged on the facility. The signal's origin was traced to a point just beyond Mars' orbit, and with each passing hour, more data streamed in. The aliens called themselves the Nexarians, describing themselves as peaceful explorers seeking to welcome humanity into a greater galactic community. Admiral David Torres stood in the Pentagon's secure briefing room, watching the translation scroll across multiple screens. 25 years in naval intelligence had taught him to trust his instincts, and something about this felt wrong. Too perfect, too convenient. "They're telling us exactly what we want to hear," he muttered, drawing curious glances from the assembled officials. "Has anyone noticed how their language just happens to translate perfectly into English? How their mathematical concepts align exactly with ours?" Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the military's leading xenolinguistics expert, stepped forward. "Actually, Admiral, I've been analyzing some irregularities in their communication patterns. There's a secondary signal embedded within the primary broadcast, something they probably didn't expect us to detect." The hidden message, when decoded, painted a very different picture. The Nexarians weren't peaceful explorers. They were scouts for a militant empire that had conquered 12 other civilizations. Their standard procedure was simple: approach with peaceful overtures, gain access to the target world's defenses and infrastructure, then strike when their victims least expected it. But humanity had learned from its own history. Years of science fiction had prepared Earth's defenders for countless scenarios of first contact, including betrayal. Unknown to the approaching Nexarians, Earth's governments had quietly established Protocol Omega, a comprehensive defense plan for exactly this type of situation. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility that officially didn't exist, General Claire Watson activated the Global Alert System. Across the planet, hidden military installations hummed to life. In orbit, seemingly ordinary communications satellites revealed their true nature as advanced weapon platforms. The trap was set. The Nexarian diplomatic vessel entered Earth's orbit 3 weeks later, expecting to find a naive civilization eager for galactic recognition. Instead, they encountered a carefully orchestrated charade. Earth's leaders played their parts perfectly, appearing appropriately awed and grateful for the aliens' arrival. Ambassador Kexthor, the Nexarian representative, stood before the United Nations General Assembly, his translucent skin shimmering under the lights. "We bring gifts of knowledge and technology," he announced, his words honey-sweet with false promise. "Together, we will elevate humanity to new heights." In the audience, Admiral Torres watched the performance with practiced calm. The Nexarians hadn't noticed the quantum scanners analyzing their every move, or the AI systems decoding their secure communications back to their fleet. Every gift they offered was carefully quarantined and studied, revealing hidden surveillance systems and backdoors into Earth's infrastructure. The turning point came when the Nexarians requested permission to establish cultural exchange centers in major cities, a typical precursor to their invasion strategy. Earth's Security Council appeared to deliberate seriously over the request, while beneath the surface, Operation Shadow Web activated. As Kexthor's ship departed Earth's atmosphere, satisfied with the progress of their deception, they remained unaware that their every movement was being tracked by advanced human stealth satellites. Their encrypted messages to the waiting invasion fleet were intercepted and decoded. Every piece of technology they had gifted to humanity had been dismantled, analyzed, and improved upon. The Nexarians thought they were shepherding sheep to slaughter. They didn't realize they were dancing with wolves in sheep's clothing. In her underground command center, General Watson reviewed the final preparations. Earth's defenses were ready, its weapons primed. The Nexarian invasion fleet would arrive in 12 hours, expecting to find a helpless planet ripe for conquest. Instead, they would face humanity's full arsenal, a combination of reverse-engineered alien technology and human ingenuity. "Let them come," she said, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's determination. "We'll show them why it's dangerous to underestimate Earth." As the first Nexarian warships emerged from hyperspace, they transmitted their standard ultimatum: surrender or be destroyed. Earth's response was not what they expected. Thousands of hidden defense platforms revealed themselves, advanced fighter squadrons launched from secret bases, and humanity's message was clear: we were done playing the victim. The greatest trap in galactic history was about to be sprung, and the Nexarians would learn a harsh lesson about judging a species by its apparent technological level. Humanity had prepared for this moment not just with weapons and technology, but with the one thing their enemies consistently underestimated: the human spirit's unrelenting drive to survive and triumph against any odds. Hidden strength. The Nexarian fleet commander, Supreme Admiral Vexnar, watched with satisfaction as 5,000 warships dropped out of hyperspace around Earth. His tactical display showed a primitive planet with minimal orbital defenses, a few crude satellites, and a single space station. Everything matched their initial intelligence perfectly. "Begin the standard intimidation protocol," Vexnar ordered, his multiple eyes blinking in sequence. "Let them witness our true power before we destroy their pitiful defenses." The Nexarian fleet arranged itself in an attack formation that had broken the will of countless civilizations. Their massive ships formed a web of death above Earth's major cities, weapons charged and ready. But as they moved into position, something unexpected happened. Earth's atmosphere suddenly lit up with a complex network of energy signatures that hadn't been there moments before. The primitive satellites transformed, revealing advanced weapon systems that had been perfectly camouflaged. The single space station sprouted defensive shields that rivaled Nexarian technology. In her command chair aboard the Earth Defense Platform Alpha, General Watson allowed herself a small smile. "Activate the Aegis Shield Network," she commanded. "Let's show our visitors what humanity has been working on." Across the globe, hidden installations powered up. From the depths of the Mariana Trench to the peaks of the Himalayas, advanced defense systems emerged from their concealment. The planet's magnetic field itself seemed to pulse with controlled energy as humanity's true technological capabilities were finally revealed. Admiral Torres, now aboard the flagship of Earth's hidden space fleet, watched as confusion spread through the Nexarian armada. "Send the message," he ordered. His communications officer transmitted humanity's response to the Nexarian ultimatum: a detailed breakdown of every weakness in their fleet's formation, shield frequencies, and weapon systems. The message was clear: we know exactly who and what you are, and we've been preparing for this moment. Vexnar's command center erupted in chaos as reports flooded in. Human vessels were appearing from hidden docks on the moon's far side. What they had dismissed as defunct satellites were actually disguised weapon platforms. Even more disturbing, the humans had somehow managed to reverse engineer and improve upon technology that had taken the Nexarian Empire centuries to develop. "Impossible," Vexnar raged, his translucent skin flushing dark with anger. "They're supposed to be primitives. How did they hide all this from our scans?" Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now revealed as the head of Earth's Xenotechnology Division, had the answer. Her team had developed a revolutionary form of quantum camouflage that made advanced technology appear primitive to outside observers. Every piece of human infrastructure had two layers: the visible facade and the hidden reality. The first demonstration of Earth's true power came from an unexpected direction: the asteroid belt, which the Nexarians had dismissed as natural debris, suddenly came alive. Hundreds of what appeared to be ordinary rocks revealed themselves as automated defense platforms, their weapons already locked onto Nexarian ships. "Perhaps you'd like to reconsider your position," Admiral Torres transmitted to the Nexarian fleet. "We've had decades to study your technology, thanks to the scout ships you lost in this sector over the years. Did you really think those crashes were accidents?" The truth dawned on Vexnar with horrifying clarity. Every failed expedition, every lost scout ship had been carefully orchestrated by the humans. Each piece of Nexarian technology that fell to Earth had been meticulously studied and improved upon. The primitives hadn't just prepared for invasion. They had used the Nexarians' own arrogance against them. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Chen monitored the quantum entanglement network that linked Earth's defenses. The system she had helped develop allowed instantaneous communication and coordination across vast distances, something the Nexarians had never achieved. "All defense grids report ready," she announced. "Quantum shields at full power." The Nexarian Empire had never encountered a species like humanity before. Other civilizations had fought back with whatever technology they had, but humans had done something unprecedented. They had hidden their true capabilities, feeding their enemies superiority complex, while secretly preparing for this exact moment. General Watson stood on the command deck of Earth's orbital defense platform, watching as the Nexarian fleet struggled to adapt to this new reality. "They thought we were sheep," she said to her assembled staff. "They never considered that we might be wolves in sheep's clothing, waiting for the right moment to bare our teeth." From hidden bases across the solar system, humanity's counter-invasion force mobilized. Ships that combined the best of human innovation with reversed-engineered alien technology moved into attack positions. The trap wasn't just set, it was closing. Vexnar watched in growing horror as his tactical displays revealed more and more human military assets. Their technology wasn't just comparable to Nexarian standards. In many ways, it was superior. The humans had taken the Nexarians' basic principles and evolved them in directions the Empire had never considered. "How do you like our primitive defenses now?" Admiral Torres's voice came through on all Nexarian frequencies. "You came expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, you've walked into humanity's carefully prepared welcome party. The question is, what are you going to do about it?" As the human forces moved into attack formation, the Nexarian fleet faced a terrible realization. They weren't the hunters they thought they were. They were the prey. And humanity was done playing defenseless. The counterstrike. The first shot of humanity's counteroffensive wasn't fired from a weapon. Instead, it came in the form of a digital assault so sophisticated that the Nexarian fleet's advanced computers couldn't even recognize it as an attack until it was too late. Captain Maya Santos, commander of Earth's Cyber Warfare Division, watched as her team's quantum virus spread through the enemy fleet's networks. "Initiative Phantom is active," she reported to General Watson. "Their systems are compromised." Throughout the Nexarian Armada, ship after ship discovered their weapons wouldn't fire, their shields fluctuated randomly, and their navigation systems displayed conflicting information. The mighty invasion fleet, which had conquered dozens of worlds, was being unraveled by lines of code they couldn't even detect. Supreme Admiral Vexnar's flagship rocked as its primary systems crashed and rebooted in endless cycles. "What sorcery is this?" he demanded, his multiple arms gesturing frantically at malfunctioning displays. "How are they doing this?" The answer came in the form of humanity's physical attack. From the dark side of the moon, Earth's first wave of fighters emerged. These weren't the clumsy rockets the Nexarians had expected. They were sleek vessels powered by zero-point energy drives, their hulls incorporating metamaterials that absorbed or redirected enemy scans. Lieutenant Sarah O'Connor led the first squadron into battle. "Phoenix Squadron, execute attack pattern Delta," she commanded. Her fighters moved with impossible agility, their pilots assisted by neural interfaces that merged human intuition with machine precision. The Nexarian ships, already struggling with compromised systems, found themselves facing an enemy that seemed to anticipate their every move. Humanity's fighters struck with surgical precision, targeting weaknesses that the Nexarians didn't even know their ships had. From his command center in the Himalayan fortress, Admiral Torres coordinated the global defense grid. "Activate the gravity lance platforms," he ordered. The weapons, hidden in orbital debris fields, powered up. These devices, developed from studying crashed Nexarian ships, could manipulate local spacetime itself. Beams of concentrated gravitational force lanced out from what had appeared to be harmless satellites. Where they struck, Nexarian ships found themselves caught in localized gravity wells that twisted their hulls like paper. The Empire's supposedly invincible warships were being torn apart by forces they had never imagined humans could control. Dr. Rodriguez monitored the effectiveness of Earth's reversed-engineered weapons from her laboratory deep beneath the Antarctic ice. "The quantum entanglement disruptors are performing beyond expectations," she reported. "Their faster-than-light communications are completely severed." Cut off from their central command and each other, the Nexarian fleet's coordinated attack plan collapsed into chaos. Each ship was now fighting alone against an enemy that seemed to be everywhere at once. In orbit, General Watson directed the next phase of humanity's counterstrike. "Launch the drone swarms," she commanded. Millions of microscopic robots, each carrying a payload of programmable matter, emerged from hidden silos across Earth's surface. The swarms surrounded Nexarian vessels, their collective intelligence adapting to enemy countermeasures in real time. Where they touched enemy hulls, the programmable matter began restructuring the very molecules of the ship's armor, turning their own technology against them. Vexnar watched in horror as his fleet's formation disintegrated. "This is impossible," he raged. "They're nothing but primitives. How do they have technology we've never even conceived of?" The answer lay in humanity's greatest strength, its diversity of thought. While the Nexarian Empire had developed its technology along rigid, predetermined lines, humans had approached each discovered piece of alien tech from countless different angles. Every captured device had been taken apart, studied, and reimagined in ways the original creators had never considered. Captain Santos's cyber warfare team penetrated deeper into enemy systems, unveiling the Empire's tactical databases. "Sir," she called to Admiral Torres, "we've accessed their complete military archives. Their entire strategic playbook is open to us." From the Mariana Trench facility, Dr. Chen activated humanity's most ambitious defense system. The quantum field generators, hidden in the Earth's core, began their work. A bubble of altered spacetime expanded outward, enveloping the planet and its orbital space. Inside this field, the laws of physics themselves could be subtly altered. Nexarian weapons found their energy dissipating harmlessly into subspace. Their shields, calibrated for normal spacetime, fluctuated and failed. "This is Earth Defense Command to all human forces," General Watson's voice rang through the command network. "Execute final attack phase. Show them why you don't underestimate humanity." Lieutenant O'Connor led her squadron through a series of maneuvers that should have been impossible, their ship's neural interfaces allowing the pilots to react with superhuman speed. "Target their command and control nodes," she ordered. "Let's give them something to remember us by." The Nexarian fleet, once proud and unstoppable, was being systematically dismantled by an enemy they had gravely underestimated. Their superior technology, the product of thousands of years of development, was being countered by human innovations they couldn't even understand. Admiral Torres watched the tactical display as enemy ships were disabled or destroyed one by one. "Send a message to their flagship," he commanded. "Tell them they have one chance to surrender before we show them what else we've been keeping hidden." In his rapidly failing flagship, Supreme Admiral Vexnar received the transmission. For the first time in his long career, he felt something he had never expected to experience while attacking a primitive world: fear. Tables turned. Supreme Admiral Vexnar stood in his failing command center, watching as his mighty invasion fleet crumbled before what he had dismissed as a primitive species. The holographic displays showed catastrophic losses. Over 40% of his ships were either destroyed or disabled, and the number was climbing rapidly. Supreme Admiral, his second-in-command reported, voice trembling, "We're detecting energy signatures from the asteroid belt. They're moving." The entire belt was coming alive, revealing thousands of hidden weapon platforms disguised as simple space rocks. Each one carried enough firepower to rival an Nexarian capital ship. On Earth, General Watson gave the order that would change the course of galactic history. Initialize the quantum fold drive. Show them what happens when you push humanity into a corner. Deep within the moon's core, a device activated that the Nexarians had thought impossible, a controlled quantum fold generator. As it powered up, space itself began to ripple around Earth's natural satellite. The moon, humanity's first true stepping stone to the stars, was about to become their greatest weapon. Dr. Rodriguez monitored the readings from her quantum physics lab. "The fold is stable, General. We can proceed with full displacement." Years of secret research, countless failed experiments, and the combined genius of Earth's greatest minds had led to this moment: the ability to instantly transport massive objects through space. In an instant, the moon vanished from its orbit, reappearing behind the Nexarian fleet. The sudden gravitational shift threw the already struggling alien ships into chaos. Before they could react, hundreds of hidden bases on the lunar surface revealed themselves, their weapons already charged and targeting. Lieutenant O'Connor led her squadron through the disrupted enemy formation. "All fighters, execute Protocol Omega. Target their propulsion systems." Her pilots moved with practiced precision, their neural-linked fighters dancing between enemy vessels with impossible grace. Each shot found its mark, disabled engines leaving the mighty warships drifting helplessly. Vexnar received the damage reports with growing horror. "This can't be happening," he muttered, his translucent skin now pale with fear. They were supposed to be primitive. Their technology was supposed to be centuries behind ours. Captain Santos's cyber warfare team struck again, this time targeting the Nexarian fleet's central command protocols. "Initiating total systems override," she announced. "Let's see how they handle fighting their own ships." Throughout the enemy fleet, vessel after vessel found their weapons turning against their allies, controlled by human operators half a world away. From his command center, Admiral Torres watched with grim satisfaction. "Transmit the following to all Nexarian frequencies. You came to our world thinking us weak. You thought our technology primitive, our defenses negligible. Now you understand. Everything you saw was what we wanted you to see." The message continued to play as Earth's true military might revealed itself. From underwater bases rose massive carriers, their hulls gleaming with advanced metamaterials that could deflect any known weapon. From underground bunkers emerged tanks that could manipulate gravity itself, their very presence disrupting the space around them. Dr. Chen's quantum entanglement network ensured perfect coordination between all Earth forces. "The enemy fleet is completely cut off from their home systems," she reported. "Their faster-than-light communications are still blocked. They're alone." In orbit, General Watson directed the final phase of humanity's response. Deploy the nanite clouds. Billions of microscopic machines filled the space around Earth, forming an impenetrable barrier that could adapt to any threat in real time. Any Nexarian ship that tried to escape found itself entangled in a web of intelligent particles that could disable its systems in seconds. Supreme Admiral Vexnar watched as his options disappeared one by one. His mighty fleet, which had never known defeat, was being systematically dismantled by a species they had planned to subjugate. The humans weren't just fighting back. They were demonstrating technological superiority in ways that shattered the Nexarian Empire's understanding of what was possible. Lieutenant O'Connor's voice cut through all enemy frequencies. "Your ships are disabled. Your weapons are useless. Your communications are severed. You came to conquer what you thought was a primitive world. Instead, you found humanity, And we've been preparing for this moment for longer than you can imagine. From hidden bases across the solar system, more human ships emerge. These weren't just warships. They were exploration vessels, research ships, and colonization craft. Humanity hadn't just prepared for defense. They had been ready to take the fight to the stars if necessary. Admiral Torres addressed the remaining Nexarian command staff. Look around you. Everything you see represents just a fraction of our capabilities. We could have struck first, but we chose to wait, to let you reveal your true intentions. Now you face a choice. Surrender and leave our space forever, or discover what else we've been keeping hidden. In his flagship's failing command center, Vexnar faced the most humiliating moment of his career. The species they had come to conquer had not only defeated them, but had done so with technology that surpassed their own. His empire's confidence in its superiority lay shattered, along with half his fleet. As the quantum fold drive powered up again, preparing to return the moon to its original position, General Watson allowed herself a small smile. "Send the final message," she ordered. "Let them know that humanity is no longer content to simply defend its borders. We're coming to the stars, and the galaxy had better be ready." Victory and consequences. 1 month after the failed Nexarian invasion, Earth's victory had sent shockwaves through the galaxy. In the Grand Assembly Hall of the United Nations, representatives from Earth's nations gathered to meet with delegates from 12 worlds previously conquered by the Nexarian Empire, worlds that had now declared their independence. Admiral Torres stood at the podium, addressing the assembled delegates. The Nexarian defeat wasn't just a victory for Earth, he declared. It was a signal to the galaxy that the age of empire building through force is over. In orbit, the remains of the Nexarian fleet hung motionless, now research stations where human scientists studied and improved upon alien technology. General Watson supervised the integration of captured tech with Earth's defense systems, ensuring that no future invasion would catch humanity unprepared. The quantum fold technology alone has revolutionized our understanding of space travel, Dr. Rodriguez explained to a panel of international scientists. We're no longer bound by traditional propulsion methods. The stars are finally within our reach. The Nexarian Empire's response to their defeat came 3 weeks after their fleet's surrender. Their diplomatic transmission was no longer filled with condescension or threats, but with carefully worded proposals for peace and trade agreements. The mighty empire had learned a costly lesson about underestimating primitive species. Captain Santos led the team analyzing the Nexarians' complete military database, which had been captured during the battle. They'd been conquering worlds for centuries, she reported to the Earth Defense Council. But they've never encountered a species that hid its true capabilities. Their entire strategy relied on technological superiority. They never developed tactics to handle superior opponents. Lieutenant O'Connor's fighter squadrons now patrolled the solar system, their ships enhanced with reversed engineered Nexarian technology. The neural interfaces that had given human pilots an edge in battle were being adapted for civilian use, promising to revolutionize everything from medical procedures to space exploration. Dr. Chen's quantum entanglement network expanded daily, now reaching beyond the solar system. "We can communicate instantly with our new allies," she announced. The former Nexarian colonies are eager to share their own technological innovations. Together, we're advancing faster than any single species could alone. In the Himalayan Command Center, Admiral Torres reviewed reports from Earth's first diplomatic missions to other star systems. Humanity's reputation had changed overnight. From an unknown primitive species to a force that had defeated the galaxy's most powerful empire, other alien civilizations were reaching out, seeking alliances and trade agreements. "We've received requests for military assistance from 3 more worlds under Nexarian control," his aide reported. "They see us as liberators." General Watson stood in the orbital command station, watching Earth rotate below. The planet's defense grid was stronger than ever, incorporating the best of human innovation and captured alien technology. But humanity's focus had shifted from defense to exploration. "Launch the first colonization fleet," she ordered. The ships that rose from Earth's atmosphere weren't just military vessels. They carried scientists, explorers, and diplomats. Humanity was ready to take its place among the stars, not as conquerors like the Nexarians, but as pioneers and peacekeepers. Supreme Admiral Vexnar, now a prisoner of war, watched from his cell as human ships departed for the stars. "We thought we were studying you," he said to Dr. Rodriguez during his weekly interrogation. "But you were studying us all along. Every scout ship we lost, every probe that crashed, you used them all to prepare." The former admiral's words confirmed what Earth's leaders had long suspected. The galaxy was filled with empires like the Nexarians, civilizations that saw military might as the only measure of worth. Humanity's victory had proven there was another way. In universities across Earth, new departments opened to study alien cultures and technologies. The knowledge gained from the Nexarian database revealed hundreds of inhabited worlds, each with their own innovations and discoveries to share. Earth became a hub of interstellar cultural and technological exchange. Lieutenant O'Connor led the first diplomatic mission to a former Nexarian colony. "We're not here to replace one empire with another," she told the planet's leaders. "We're here to help you defend yourselves, to ensure no one can ever subjugate your world again." Captain Santos's cyber warfare division evolved into the Interstellar Communications and Defense Network, sharing Earth's advanced cybersecurity measures with allied worlds. The quantum virus that had crippled the Nexarian fleet was adapted into a defensive system that could protect entire planets from digital warfare. Dr. Chen's work on quantum physics led to breakthroughs in faster-than-light travel. The quantum fold drive was just the beginning. She explained to a conference of international scientists, "By combining our understanding of physics with innovations from other worlds, we're opening up the entire galaxy for exploration." 1 year after the invasion, Earth hosted the first Galactic Cooperative Summit. Representatives from 50 worlds gathered to discuss trade, cultural exchange, and mutual defense. Humanity's victory over the Nexarians had sparked a revolution in interstellar politics, proof that technological advancement didn't have to come at the cost of freedom. Admiral Torres stood at his office window, watching ships from a dozen different worlds dock at Earth's new space station. "They came expecting to find primitives ready for conquest," he mused. "Instead, they found humanity, and we showed them that underestimating us was the biggest mistake they could have made." The stars no longer seemed distant or unreachable. Humanity had faced its first true interstellar threat and emerged stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever the galaxy might bring next. The message to any future would-be conquerors was clear. Earth was not to be underestimated, and humanity's potential knew no bounds.